I think we'll get started here. Thank you very much for joining us today for the introduction to PIPSpro software. You'll see on the screen we say QA Fusion Part 2. We actually have a new merged product called QA Fusion, which basically is the PIPSpro component, which I'll show you today, and our QA Pilot component that is our database management, our QA database management software. And we have various webinars on that as well. And at the end of this program, I will show you or tell you how to kind of access standardimaging.com or sales@standardimaging.com to ask for maybe a viewing of that webinar or a private introduction to that as well. So anyway, let's go ahead with today's subject, which is PIPSpro. And PIPSpro software is our TG142 software. We like to say TG142 made easy. And basically just a couple introductory things, you know, kind of why what we do. Here's a group of our happy coworkers. We know that cancer affects you know, everybody in many different ways: families, coworkers, friends, and we're very proud of being a leading manufacturer of QA equipment and calibration equipment, and partnering in your precision for doing good QA in your departments. Just a bit of housekeeping here. I want to let you know that today's webinar will be recorded, and everyone who has signed up will get a recording link so they can view this at a later date as well, or share it with colleagues who may be interested in viewing it or hearing it as well. Any of the questions that I'll put together or you may have for me can be put in the questions box in the dialog box, and will be addressed at the end. And then just a bit of quick history for Standard Imaging. If you're not really familiar with us, we're based in Middleton, Wisconsin, which is about an hour west of Milwaukee, 3 hours northwest of Chicago. We were founded in 1989, and we just celebrated our 30th anniversary last year. And we design and manufacture a full suite of QA products for radiation therapy, including software like you'll see today, phantoms for both 3D and 1D water phantoms, our Lucy stereotactic phantom. We do a number of electrometers. Our Supermax and Max 4000 are very well known, as well as our X-ray line of ion chambers, anything from the A16.007 micro point chamber up to our very large volume spherical chambers, 16-liter A8. So, and anywhere in between. So we have a whole host of ion chambers as well. But today we're going to be talking about PIPSpro. And for some reason, there we go. So basically what PIPSpro is it's an automated analysis of over 30 TG142 tests for quality assurance, including MV and KV imager, the planar imaging components of a LINAC, cone beam CT for the 3D components. The MLC QA test, we have both tests for image-based and log file-based tests. The image-based, including our picket fence type test and leaf position test. Log file-based tests include our leaf speed tests and our repeatability tests. Our stereotactic QA module, which is basically an automated Winston Lutz platform. We're doing quick checks of your isocentricity and your machine QA for stereotactic. Radiation light field coincidence test, starshot analysis, and we also have an IGRT database to keep track of your daily positions and shifts. So one thing about the PIPSpro software is basically it's designed to be suitable for just about any size of facility out there, from your single LINAC small facility to very large enterprise-wide type systems that have numerous sites overseen by one centralized company, or corporation, or group, as it were. So it's, like I said, it's scalable for enterprise or for single facility. For some reason, my PowerPoint is being kind of wonky today, but very easy department setup, which I'll get to in a second. Basically, we have the ability to set up our system manager, and you'll see it's divided up into divisions, departments, users, LINACs, thresholds, and phantoms. And basically, divisions being that overarching facility group, say a 21st century oncology, or Genesis Care, or like Aurora here in Wisconsin, a number of different facilities under that group. And then as far as departments go, we have the ability to set up the individual departments under that group, or again, like I said, just the individual department. And again, my PowerPoint is acting up today. Going backwards. I apologize. Technical difficulties. And we are going back. There we go. Let's see where we're going. There we go. Sorry about that. We do have Citrix server support for enterprise-wide systems. We've got the centralized data access for the enterprise-wide results and trending. So basically, you can combine all your data and look at all your data from all your different facilities. And then you also can set baselines, which give you quick, what we call quick selects, to direct you very quickly to your specific tests. We set up specific LINAC and thresholds for individual systems as well. As you can see here, for LINAC information, you can put in the LINAC ID, manufacturer, what model it is, etc. Whether it's got a what EPID it has, if there's any OBI on the system as well, if there's 3D or 6D couch, all that can be input into the LINAC information. And then we also have the thresholds, which basically are set for individual TG142 tests. That we use those TG142 thresholds, but those are user definable as well. So you can certainly adjust those as you see fit, and do that for individual LINACs, etc. So those individual LINACs can have different thresholds depending on, say, maybe the age or the type of LINAC. So that all can be customized to your liking. We also have what we call the QA results dashboard, which basically shows you the results of the last test in a pass, caution, or fail, red, yellow, green type situation, showing you the last analyzed data as well. And so it gives you a very quick and easy review of the last test dates and the last test results. Getting into some of the specific tests we do, we've got, like I mentioned, the KV and the MV planar test, which we do calculated automatic results for spatial resolution, uniformity, contrast, and noise. Everything is color-coded, pass, caution, and fail. You can see here the green notes of pass. We typically would take a single image of the phantom and a flood field, and then the uniformity is measured across the flood field at 5 different spots. The contrast is looked at, finding the darkest point of the flood image and the lightest point of the flood image. And then you have your different resolution and density uniformities as well, calculated and measured for the test, and that's similar for both the KV and the MV tests. The comprehensive cone beam CT QA We have automated tests for uniformity noise, Hounsfield unit constancy, geometric distortion, slice thickness, visibility for low contrast, and detectability for low contrast. And these are all utilizing the existing CAT bands typically included with the LINAC that has the cone beam functionality. And that's either the 503 model for the Electa, the 504 model for the Varian, or we also do analysis of the 600 series for diagnostic as well. And similarly, the results are shown not only in, you see this overview here of the tests and their results, pass, fail, and caution, but also individually you can go to any of the slices to take a peek at the actual image itself, and then the results for those specific tests. Here showing the geometric distortion, the slice thickness, and the low contrast visibility. The leaf speed test, we utilize log files for this, and the nice thing about our leaf speed test, it's an actual quantitative individual leaf speed test. It's not an average. We don't look and measure a dose rate and then average that across the leaves for an expected result. We actually do look at each individual leaf, and we report results for those individual leaves. So, for example, if you see here, the showing the left bank and the right bank, and the outer leaves are showing some error and some slower than expected movement, which is fairly typical since those leaves are not used as much as the inner leaves. So you might see some dragging or some slowness there due to dust or lubrication buildup, things like that might slow those leaves down. But in the center, where the leaves are used more regularly and uniformly, you'll see a more of a passing grade there. And then this area here, that is showing you the basically what the 10 worst culprits, if you will, the left bank and the right bank, the biggest leaf loss, or leaf speed loss, I should say, across the worst 10 bank of, or the individual leaves of each bank. And we also do it, like I said, for we do it for step and shoot. We do it for moving window. We do a repeatability test as well. So there's a number of different log file based tests we have for PIPSpro. We also have our image based tests. As I mentioned, we have our multi-port or picket fence test. We have our leaf position accuracy, which basically similarly kind of gives you the position of leaves and where they should be or where they're expected to be, utilizing an image-based system. And then we also have a leaf transmission test. Radiation light field coincidence test. We have a phantom called the FC2, which basically allows you to check both a 10 by 10 and a 15 by 15 centimeter field. And there are embedded fiducials at the corners of the phantom, both for the 15 by 15, and then also inside here for the 10 by 10. And then we have a central axis marker as well to do a central axis accuracy. And once you take the image, bring it into PIPSpro, it'll automatically calculate. It will find those fiducials automatically. Knowing those fiducials where they should be located on the phantom, it gives you a red radiation light field position. And then there's also a green line around the radiation edge too, so it'll show you that radiation field. And then that position is calculated utilizing those fiducials that runs the algorithm and gives you those results in a XY position as far as how your errors are for the radiation light field position and for the central axis. And then the results are then summarized and charted, as you can see on the right. We have star shot analysis. We do both EPID and film for the star shots. We do gantry, collimator, and couch. And there's just a one-click analysis. Basically, you just need to click somewhere on the center of the star shot. The software will actually localize to the center, and then you'll get a reading result similar to what TG142 requests or recommends. The smallest circle that intersects or utilizes combines all the pertinent rays of the star shot and gives you the diameter of that circle for your results. The automated Winston-Lutz test, basically this can be either MLC or cone-based QA, and you bring in your 8 images. You can see the images on the right. The green notes the radiation field edge that was detected. The green is the center of the radiation field, the green cross, I should say. The yellow cross is the center of the ball marker for the Winston-Lutz test. And it will automatically calculate the in-plane and cross-plane deviations, and then utilizing those, what we call the DU and the DV, as you can see on the lower right, showing you the in-plane and cross-plane directions. We'll run a calculation and give you an optimal shift to place that ball marker into the center of the field and the isocenter of the system. And we can utilize pretty much any Winston-Lutz phantom if you've got one in-house from your Linac manufacturer. You can utilize that. We do offer 3 different Winston-Lutz phantoms. You'll see our pointer here, which has a 4mm tungsten ball mounted at the end. This is our basic stand for it. We do have a 3D micrometer-based adjustable stand. And then we also have our standard Winston-Lutz cube as well, with the ball marker in the center. So there's 3 different capabilities there as far as our phantoms go. But like I said, you can use pretty much any Winston-Lutz phantom on the market. In our IGRT module, this is basically kind of a database to input your daily deviations for your measurement of, say, like a Mimi Phantom, which we offer, or Pentaguide, things like that, that gives you your 2D and 3D matching, so you can track your offsets on your MV imager and your KV imager on a daily basis, and then you can track and trend those to see if there's any deviations that are making a pattern that you might want to address. So I'm just going to kind of jump into the software real quick, give you a couple of examples to show you how easy things are. I don't want to spend too much time. I usually keep these to about 25, 30 minutes, so I'm at about 19 minutes now. So, you know, another 5 or 7 minutes and we'll get you back on your day. Let me grab the software here. So basically, here's the dashboard which I mentioned. As far as the test results go, you can see the last test date. I ran a few tests this morning, just playing around with some of our demo images. You'll see the results here as well. This is actually the QA Pilot portal. So this is what will be if I wanted to import it into QA Pilot. The actual PIPSpro dashboard will look a little less involved, just because it does give you just the results of those tests, as you can see here. So a few of the tests I ran today with the star shot looked like the collimator rotation failed, had a couple of cautions, and everything else was passing. You can easily hide that dashboard as well. Then your up, down, left to right menu system, as you're very used to with a Windows type system. Your system manager, as I'd mentioned, this is where you set up your divisions, your departments, your users. User-wise, I didn't show you this, but you can set up different types of users with different security access to the software. So, if you want to be able to change those thresholds, that might be something that just a standard user might not have access to. So you can set that security up within this as well. your lin-ax. This is where you set up your various lin-ax thresholds. And another thing we have is our phantoms, and the phantoms basically showing you the different the KV phantom that we offer, the QC3 phantom that we offer, and then the CatFan 504 from Varian for the cone beam CT tests. Interesting note on our two phantoms, the QC KV and the QC3. We do actually calibrate those at the factory to the frequencies of the line pairs. So we actually utilize those and calibrate those accordingly for use with your specific system. Showing you just a list of the machines, for our SI sales group, we've got a number of setup machines on demo here, you can see. But for this particular test, our fictional Maple Hospital has just the TrueBeam. You'll see that is always the active, it'll always show you the active linac up in the top menu bar of which one you're actually doing the test for. Here's your applications. You choose your imager QA, your radiation light field test, etc. For the imager QA, show you how easy that is. Basically, you have your quick selects here. You can see it's either QC3 for our MV, QCKV for the KV test, cone beam CT, CatFan 504 for the 3D test. I'll jump into the QC3. And I just bring my images in. There automatically will remember where that last directory was, take you to that. You just pick your specific images, both your phantom image and your flood field. Bring those in. The software will automatically localize on the regions of interest on the phantom. You can also reject that and manually adjust that as well if for some reason it didn't pick them up correctly. But typically, this is what you'll get here, showing you the different circles within those regions of interest. Click accept, runs through the calculation, and it will give you the results in about 3 to 4 seconds after it kind of runs those algorithms. And you'll see the planar results showing here. You've got your F50, F40, and F30 resolution checks. You've got your uniformity, your noise, and then your contrast to noise. Again, color-coded for pass, fail, and caution. Also throws up an MTF curve of the resolution for you. So you can easily kind of track those as well. And then you can save those tests accordingly. You can print them out. There's also reporting available as well. So you have full ability to put reports out, and I'll show you what those reports look like in a second when I jump back into the PowerPoint to summarize. But that's what you've got for the planar test. I'll show you maybe quickly the cone beam CT, and then I'll show you the stereotactic module as well. So here, load in your 504, 64 images found for that particular phantom. I open those up. We'll automatically run through the images of the CatFan, and it will actually find what we call the key slice. Oh. Apologies there. Not sure exactly what happened with that. Bear with me 1 second. This is a beta software for our next release, so it's not quite finished yet. So I apologize about that. Let's try this again here for you. There we go. So So basically, it finds that key slice, and like I had mentioned, it looks for the key slice, and then it knows where the rest of the actual slices are in the software. So I go back to the results page, and you'll see my results here: uniformity noise, sound fields constancy, resolution, geometric distortion, etc. And I can click on any one of these, and it'll bring up the pertinent slice. So here I'm looking at my Hounsfield constancy for my different materials. I have my expected HU here, what was measured, and whether they fall into that pass, caution, or fail type result. So basically, it's good visualization, good tracking to see what specific tests were done, what specific results came about. And then you can also, like I said, fill out and print out reports for the Chromium CT module as well. And lastly, I will show you the stereotactic module. But like I said, as you can see, as I bring in the images, everything is automatically calculated. And the results are automatically given. Here I have my eight images. It automatically calculates those deviations in the crossplane and in-plane locale. Green line notes the radiation edge. Green cross, radiation center. Yellow cross, the ball center. And this shows you here the optimal shifts to get that ball into the correct place in isocenter. So that's quick and simple. You see, everything is automatically calculated within PIPSpro, and shows up very quickly, very easily. Anyway, that's kind of just a quick interview, or quick overview, I should say, of the PIPSpro software. This wasn't really intended today to be a in-depth demonstration. If you would like more of an in-depth demonstration, we can certainly oblige that. You can contact your local rep by going to sales@standardimaging.com, and they will contact you back to give you maybe a little more information on PIPSpro, and maybe set up that individualized demo that we'd be happy to do for you. But a couple of last points that I had mentioned, our QA Fusion component, which basically, again, is our connectivity of our PIPSpro directly to our QA Pilot QA management software system. And as I had shown you before, we've got the QA Pilot portal page here, which looks similar to the dashboard, just a little different. You get to select your different tests you want to do to bring into QA portal or QA Pilot portal, and then you have your results showing here then on QA Pilot for those specific test results. In this case, the imaging, we got your cone beam CT and your planar imaging, showing your passes and your dates it was done and things like that. And you can also drill down into that for the individual results too, that are brought into QA Pilot. So it's an automated system for the QA database management. Allows you to kind of track and trend and keep an eye on your TG142 recommendations for any kind of accreditation that might be necessary. It just keeps a hard record. Everything on QA Pilot is stored in the cloud, and we use the Amazon AWS multi-layer encrypted cloud storage there too. So everything is safe and HIPAA compliant. Obviously, there's no patient data that is involved with the QA Pilot, because it is just basically a machine and an imager QA component. So there's not any patient plan data, things like that, where HIPAA would be an issue anyway. But the servers we store everything on is HIPAA compliant. Here's an example of one of the tests that we produce out of PIPSpro within the QA Pilot. Brings in those test results for you for printing out if need be, or just warehousing within QA Pilot.
And that's about QA Pilot too, is you can customize all your test presentations as well. So you can customize how your reports look and how your what tests you're actually performing within QA Pilot, things like that. So it's not only a scheduler but also a very, very powerful database. So just a quick overview again of summary. You can directly, coming soon in 5.7.1, quickly directly upload your PIPSpro results to our QA Pilot software. We've got enhanced marker detection within the Cone Beam CT module. And then there's also enhanced elective versa integrity analyzation of the TRF files for the leaf speed module as well. So those are our three main components of 5.7.1. Quick advantages, a very quantifiable and reproducible results within PIPSpro. It makes it very easy for you to become compliant with TG 142 recommendations for those accreditations. The centralized database, scalable to specific needs. And I did see one question, is the cost for centralized, is it for multiple institutes? Basically, as far as that goes, the licensing is actually LINAC based, so it's scalable that way. So basically, if you're a small facility with just a single LINAC or maybe two LINACs, you don't get kind of penalized, if you will, by just having one or two LINACs. You're only paying for those specific LINACs, whereas if you're a large enterprise type system and you have multiple systems and multiple centers, those are individually LINAC based as well. And any of our account managers can help you with pricing for the PIPSpro software. The results dashboard gives you a quick single view of those most single results for the tests and what days, the last day they were performed. They're very quantifiable results. Everything is measured. It's not a qualitative type result. It's not just kind of look and see. It's actually calculated to give you results with our precision phantoms. Very intuitive user interface for each component of the system, anywhere from the imager-based QA up to the log file-based leaf speed tests, things like that. Everything is very, very intuitive and automatic, I should say. It's very smart software. It automatically localizes any fiducials and field edges for less mouse clicks, for faster resolution and analysis. And like I mentioned, there's over 30 TG 142 tests in this single package that can automatically be uploaded to QA Pilot. So as I mentioned, lastly, please feel free to visit standardimaging.com. We have a brand new website that we introduced about a week and a half ago, or 2 weeks ago, I guess now, for Astro. So it's a much cleaner, easier, navigable website to find what you're looking for. And like I mentioned as well, for an in-depth overview of the PIPSpro software, please feel free to contact your regional Standard Imaging rep at sales@standardimaging.com. That will be directed to your specific regional rep, and he or she can get in touch with you to provide you more information on PIPSpro, or possibly, if you're interested, setting up a kind of a more in-depth, personalized demo of the software as well. Other than that, I don't see any other questions. And I very much thank you for your time today. Feel free to email us if you do have any questions, or any of your colleagues who might watch this after the fact have any questions. We'll certainly work to answer those for you. Otherwise, I'll get you back on your day, and I thank you very much for your time.